the negative rebuttal for 6 minutes.
So according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse website, which is drugabuse.gov, and I'd like to point out that it is a .gov website, not a .org website, so marijuana and driving. Marijuana is affecting people's driving because it seriously impairs their judgment and motor coordination. Marijuana also contributes to accidents while driving. A recent analysis of data from several studies found that marijuana use more than doubles a driver's risk of being in an accident.
And according to CNBC.com, a leading news website, on the same topic of driving, in a recent study of nighttime drivers nationally, 8.6% tested positive for marijuana, and that's 4 times the percentage that tested for being over the legal limit of blood alcohol concentration. And in a study in Washington of fatal accidents, 12.7 tested positive for marijuana, and those were the drivers that had died in those accidents because of their marijuana usage.
It was stated by Cole that people who have been found to use LSD, cocaine, and heroin have also been found to use marijuana. This supports the statement that marijuana is a gateway drug and can lead to more dangerous and more addictive drugs.
I spoke to my mom on this subject. She worked for 6 years on the drug task force in Benton County, and she told me that in her experiences, not everyone who had marijuana went to a harder drug, but nearly every single person she spoke to who was on a harder drug started at marijuana, and this is proof that marijuana is a gateway drug.
Adam stated that marijuana would help cure diseases like cancer, but then the affirmative side also stated that marijuana alleviates the pain. So this would make you think that as a person, like cancer associations wouldn't be spending so much money and having all these benefits to find a cure for cancer. They would be pushing and spending their money to make marijuana legal if it was a true cure for the disease. So this means more that it's alleviating the pain but not curing it.
The affirmative side is not concerned about the so-called sketchy situations that we brought up earlier, but in reality, marijuana can be easily grown, and we need to take into consideration about that because there's no possible way that we can monitor every single thing.
Stated on Coloradine.com, Denver defense lawyer Sean McAllister, who helped frame the language for Amendment 64 for legalizing marijuana and advocated for it, said that some of the posts on Craigslist for marijuana say, "No red card, we can help," are clearly offering illegal drugs of marijuana.
It was also said by Cole that most people who start marijuana don't end up taking another drug. Well, it was stated by the National Institute on Drug Abuse.gov that 33% of people who start out taking marijuana end up taking another more harsh drug. Though, yes, most people don't, still 33% do. That's still a staggering amount.
If marijuana was used as a cure, then it wouldn't be stated that marijuana causes testicular cancer, which is diagnosed between men aged 15 to 45, found from the expresstribune.com, the International Herald Tribune.
It was also found on the National Institute of Drug Abuse.gov website that marijuana also makes it 4.8 more likely to die of a heart attack. So just because you're taking it because you have cancer or some other illness or AIDS, would you rather die sooner because of marijuana when you could have lived longer? Also, imagine if you were told that you have a terminal disease and then you're cured of that, and then now you're addicted to a drug and it kills you. According to drugabuse.gov, among the daily users, 25 to 50% of those users become addicted to marijuana. And also, nearly 7% of the high school seniors who report smoking marijuana daily or almost daily are well on their way to addiction.
From the National Institute of Drug Abuse, from drugabuse.gov, it was found that smoking marijuana heavily in their teens causes an individual to lose 8 points on their IQ between the ages of 13 and 38. This affects your memory, also found from the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Institute from the University of Washington, that It affects your memory, attention of ability to think clearly, and difficult to concentrate, also affecting your movement and balance while intoxicated.
Legalizing marijuana will cost the government and taxpayers more money, time, and effort than it's worth, not to mention the many health risks associated with it. Thank you all for coming.